Let's do this. Hello and welcome to what is a Grand Tour special. Hurry up! But for some extraordinary reason... Here we go! Why's your car up there?
Well, because that's where the boat...
Get a bloody move on. Sure. Right, go, May. Go, go, go. Give it a yak.
3, 2, 1.
What is that?
It's got 49 horsepower. It's going to ruin it.
Can we find a small dog instead to tow it?
That is presumably a pickup truck. Get out of the way.
Where the Fiat would be an anchor and the Jeep a tug.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, shit. Hammond, you moron!
Well, I couldn't do anything. I got no steering. I was
Why
talking...
didn't you tell us?
I was yelling on the radio. You pulled me
This
through a
family has
building.
loved this car since 1991, and you turn up from bloody Wales or North America or wherever it is you've been, and you've already ruined it.
Listen, it's been a bit of a cluster thing. We need to work it all out. We need communications properly organised.
What is
you
that?
Need
That?
It's my ladder.
You bought something you can't get into or out of without a ladder. Here we go!
We headed into Cartagena to buy some cameras.
Get a bloody move on. £8,000. And absolutely everything on it works. There we go. I think it's going to be ideal, though, for wildlife photography because it's four-wheel drive, it's Jeep. So I could use it to track a snow leopard. It's got a 4-litre straight 6, so I could keep up with a diving eagle. And, of course, no roof, fold-down windscreen. So a 360-degree field of fire for my camera. Ow, God, that looks tricky. Go, 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 go! Go on, keep your foot in it, man!
Let me fill you in a bit on my 1998 Chevy CK Silverado. It's a full-size American pickup that's been made a bit bigger with a lift kit and modifications that I'll tell you about later. Go, go, go! I have four-wheel drive, high and low ratios. That and this massive lift kit, I can go anywhere with it. No animals can stay away from my lens. Probably most wildlife photographers use things like this anyway. You don't see it, you know, on the telly with Attenborough and stuff, because, well, this is behind the scenes. This is how they get there.
Now we're alone, viewers, let me tell you a little bit about my car. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, that's just a Fiat Panda, and they're in South... 180 kilograms, a quarter of what Hammond's stupid monster truck weighs. Go! Now, you compare this with the original Series 1 Panda. It has a four-wheel drive system made in Austria, very dependable. Slightly raised ride height, but the same engine, does have inclinometers on it so that I can see when I'm about to fall over. It all works. The lights work, the hazards work, the fan, the cooling system, all the instruments, the windows and the automatic mirrors. It's all perfect. Apart from the bit that Richard Hammond damaged. Ow! Rubbish! Dab of brakes.
Soon we arrived at the really rather beautiful walled city of Cartagena. Eventually, having got our shopping done, we met up for a camera show and tell. And once again, Hammond had gone completely over the top.
This is a 50mm prime, really fast, beautiful lens. Then I've got another harness, so that's for the actual camera. Importantly, of course, camera body, very good one.
Well remembered.
And most importantly of all, telephoto lens.
Shall I show you what I've got?
Yes?
I haven't bothered with any of that. I've just gone for the telephoto, not one of yours, but that. This is all I've got. That's all. Let's do this. James, move, you're in my shot. I'm going to get further away.
Oh, Christ, I've got a macro on. Stay. Pigeon. Don't scare it.
Oh! Get out of the way.
Oh, I'm sorry, am I annoying
Yes, you are.
Well, yes,
you
you
can't
do to
possibly
me.
need to be that close. Hello, horsey.
Eventually, we got into the groove. Got it.
Look at my pigeon.
And after just 20 minutes, we met up to celebrate a job well done.
Yeah, I've got a dog.
You've got that horse one.
I've got the pigeon looking gormless.
I think haven't we pretty much done
A
it?
number of dogs and a number of horses.
Which
and
are-
the spider's the spider had gone, but I've got the
Hurry up! Why don't you pull alongside your colleague in his, let's be... 3, 2, 1, go!
Away! Go faster.
Richard Trailer Trash Trump Hammond has been beaten, and beaten big time, bigly.
I mean, I don't want you to take this personally or anything, Hammond, but your truck must be utter garbage.
Absolute garbage.
You wait, this thing will come into its own soon and you'll be left gasping.
I'm longing to see... Get a bloody move on. Since the Jaguars weren't going to be in built-up areas,
Hurry up!
along a dirt path that was once a railway built by the British. Go. Keep your panties on. That'll do. Right, Jaguars, they are very difficult to spot and very, very rare. You don't want to come face to face with a Jaguar, though, because it does have very strong bitey bits. Kills its prey by biting through its skull and then penetrating its brain.
We drove for miles along the disused railway until eventually LGB Jeremy came to a halt.
Gentlemen, I'm rather confused here. We're approaching a bridge, okay? It says no cars, no people, no motorcycles and no horses.
Well, what's it for then?
Moments later, we found out. It's all right, James, why don't you just... He is actually going. James doesn't like heights.
Oh, did you see that one just moved?
Yes. What is that? Hold on. That's one, two. You've got 7 or 8, maybe 8 feet.
But that means I'll have to drive. I can't.
Well, it's got massive tyres. You'll just be running on the outer ones.
Well, so I get to this bit. My car is wider than that, and that's wider than my wheel. It won't do it.
And that's high, actually. What is that, 300 feet?
Some hundreds of feet, yes. Oh dear.
Even though Hammond isn't at all accident-prone, I went first. Seatbelt on or off? Off. Because what bloody difference will it make? Really? Go. This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure. Very quickly. Oh, bollocks. Off. Because what bloody difference will it make? Really? Go. This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure. Oh, bollocks. Off. Because what bloody difference will it make? Really? Go. This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure. Oh, bollocks. That's it, keep going, keep going. Oh, ah! Drive carefully. Off. Because what bloody difference will it make? Really? No. This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure. Oh, bollocks. Off. Because what bloody difference will it make? Really? Go. This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure. Oh, bollocks. Drive fast. Drive carefully. Off. Because what bloody difference will it make? Really? No. This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure. Off. Because what bloody difference will it make? Really? Go. This is a lot higher than it looked in the brochure. Oh, bollocks. Get on with it. Drive carefully. Oh. Right, I've made it. That's good. Hammond, you will shit your pants doing this.
Well, that's helpful.
I already am watching.
Go! Not looking down, thinking about other things. Go! Now very slowly. Not going to work.
And then it was the turn of Big Donald.
Oh, God. The only way I can do this is by looking at the driver's side tyre and keeping it as close as I can to that edge. And hoping to God that gives me enough. Oh, God. Go! Oh, God. Can to that edge. And hoping to God that gives me enough. Oh, Christ. We're off. I'm shaking like I've never shaken. Gotta keep the pressure on. I can do this. I am doing it. Unleash the beast! Can to that edge. And hoping to God that gives me enough. Oh, Christ. Go! I can do this. Go, go, go! I can do this. I am doing it. I will get there.
Who is that clippity-clopping across my bridge?
Oh, God! Not the Billy Goat Grab game.
I will move my Jeep out of your way. If you can answer this simple prog rock question.
I don't know anything about prog rock at all! Let me off the bridge, I'm going to be sick, please.
Eventually, Hammond became quite irritated, so I abandoned it. Let's do this.
Eventually, having fixed the fit.
Here we go!
This is tremendous. It's like being on a rally stage. Away! That Tony and Sherry Blair were, in fact, massive World Rally Championship fans. In fact, I think they took part in a couple on the quiet. They just didn't want people to know about it. They thought it would sort of damage their reputation.
Further ahead, my long lens had grabbed a couple of animals.
I don't believe Amazon will be rushing to have that as their screensaver.
But we had yet to bag it. Eventually, though, after driving deep into the jungle... Here we go!
That's how you're supposed to use them. It's in the instructions. That's what you do. You set it.
next morning, with James in a state of deep puzzlement, Hammond and I checked out the ruined trap cameras. So, let me just get this clear. The Jaguar mauled your camera?
Yeah.
Is that really where it's bitten it?
Yeah, look, it's come off it.
So, but he's broken it?
Yes, he's broken.
But did
anyway.
this is the important thing. Did we get any pictures?
All right, look.
No.
Something triggered it. Maybe a leaf. Ah, look! There!
Where?
There! That's
Oh,
its...
that's it!
That's it
God,
walking
it's
back. It's a
how camouflaged
There's
it
its head,
is.
there's its head! That's its actual face.
I mean, they're not...
There!
Yeah, but there's got a tree in front of him.
Well, yeah, but that's context, that's habitat.
What's that?
This is when it got destroyed. That's its mouth. That's whiskers. Look.
No.
That's a jaguar biting. That is an action shot. That's probably got awards all over it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Eyes.
Oh, now that is a great picture, and we can move on.
It is.
We have ticked that.
Get a bloody move on.
Jaguar, that's Saddam Hussein. We've now got to go and get...
Let's do this.
Persecution. I insisted we saddle up and set off to look for Paddington.
Begin. Oh my God.
Keep it diagonal, obviously, while crossing these things. Oh, shite!
Oh! Oh! Look at you with the wheel in the air.
Can we please try not to make this look like it's a problem, because the ladies and gentlemen think we're hopeless. I tried to drive myself out, which went well. Speed and power.
He's just dug himself a hole.
Out of the way. Predictably, his pickup truck chose that moment to go into one-wheel drive.
Get a bloody move on. And then it's down to you, because I haven't got the weight to pull you, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
A Fiat Panda.
Yes! Yes!
Jeremy Corbyn just pulled Freddie Mercury out.
It's a meeting of minds.
I'm not sure we're very good at fist bumping. With that calamity sorted, Hammond got four-wheel... Hurry up! Right. Let's go on a bear hunt. No. Oi. Right. Let's go on a bear hunt. No. That'll do. Actually looking forward to seeing a bear, I really am. I like all bears except polar bears, which I hate. They're vicious and they eat school children.
Joyously, we soon found another suitable spot, where I discovered I had a small problem.
I'm still not high enough up.
Yes, it is. It moved. Shh. That's his face. Oh, yes.
Having had a decent night's sleep, we convened to plan our next move.
Morning.
What's the matter with your face?
It's all good.
No.
It's like being in The Singing Detective.
Let's do this.
We then went shopping in Bogota's massive... To reach Condor Country, we decided to get cracking immediately.
That's genuinely alarming.
No.
To reach Condor Country, we decided to get cracking immediately.
Why are you doing that?
Good. Oh, dearie me. Whoops. Oh my God! Oh no! That was good! Oh, man! That's lovely.
To reach Condor Country, we decided to get cracking immediately.
He's a liar and a cheat. No! I am raining down destruction.
Oh dear, oh dear. Hey! This is just brilliant. so good, but it does.
I cannot wait to see a dive to reach Condor Country. We decided to get cracking immediately.
Oh, bugger!
Rubbish. Not any idea what you're doing. Yes. Concentrate, look through the bend. This is quite a complicated one.
This really is.
Yes!
Wow.
I cannot wait to see a condor because they are one of the most superb creations on Earth. They just are magnificent. They can stay at 18,000 feet all day, maybe flap their arms once. Right, gentlemen, we're passing 10,000 feet now. How's your temperature gauges?
Mine's getting hot, really hot.
Weirdly, my car isn't overheating, but it is producing some steam because I think maybe the cap isn't perfectly sealed and the ambient pressure is going down.
Yeah.
Why does he say ambient pressure? Why not just pressure?
We continued on Jeremy's journey up into the heavens.
Right, we're at something like 11,500 feet. We're still climbing. Car is definitely struggling now. The engine burns a mixture of oxygen and petrol, mainly oxygen. The oxygen is going down, so you can't burn as...
Hurry up!
There we are, 2 clicks. Right, watch this.
No. Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Engine. There we are, 2 clicks. Right, watch this.
Go. Oh, my God. Roaring off. For heaven's sake, I beg them, drive fast. Oh, dearie me. No! Engine. There we are. 2 clicks. Right, watch this. No. Engine. There we are. 2 clicks. Right, watch this. Go. Hurry up! No! Here we go. Whoops. Oh, good. For God's sake. Boy. Oh, God. Looking good is more important than looking where you're going. Come on, Jeep. Yes, you little beauty. Here he goes! And when the clouds had lifted, we set about. Let's do this.
Oh, God.
Jesus. Get a bloody move on.
Which didn't work.
Go! Hey, you! Oh.
Oh, no. Come on, this is it. Oh, my God. Oh, God. That was terrifying. Oh my God! This is a bad time to be lost. Oh my God! Not that way. Bloody hell. Oh, yeah!
which didn't work.
No idea what I'm doing.
Oh my God! I don't know why more people don't drive their cars on the road. Oh, for God's sake. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Mercifully, though, the storm passed, so we drove down the rough and icy mountain track, long into the night. And the next morning, woke for a rethink in a...
Get out of the way.
What are you doing?
I told you condors live down here.
He's living. It was living up there and it's had engine failure and it's crashed here.
Doesn't matter how it got here. Fact is, it is, and I've got the pictures of it. That means we're done.
You can't put that on an Amazon screensaver.
Why not?
Well, this lost quite a lot of its majesty.
But it's a condor, and that means we're finished. That's it, we've done. James!
Get a bloody move on.
Now, on the last 75 miles of our 1,300-mile trip.
Here we go!
Yes, viewers, about a kilometre to go, and I haven't been run over by a monster truck. Away!
Okay.
Help!
Look at me, behold, I have become James May.
Oh no!
Ow! Ow!
Oh, I don't like this.
Oh my God!
Ow!
Oh dear God.
Thank you, Bagpuss.
Ah! Oh really?
I'm absolutely delighted. Hammond, I can only see you behind me. Can you see Clarkson behind you?
No, just looking for him.
At that moment, though, we were distracted by what lay in front of us.
Hurry up!
Look at his big fat face.
Yes. Well, that's it.
That's tremendous. Hippopotamus.
Photos of a hippo.
Congratulations.
Let's do this.
Little scary bridge you
I
did.
don't know. He overcooked it because it's near the end.
No. Come on, car, please. Whoops. Oh, God. No! Oh, no! Oh, God.
That little scary bridge you
I
did.
don't know. He overcooked it because it's near the end.
Go. Oh, God. There we go. Speed up again now. Oh, no. Oh, for God's sake. No. Oh! Here we go. Drive carefully. No! Boy. Oh, dearie me.
Is that?
It is.
Oh, brief moment of elation followed by plummeting depression. Where have you been?
Welcome.
I've been mending my camera.
You don't need it.
What?
We've done it, mate. We've got shots of a hippo. It is done. We're finished. We've done it.
Behold the
Done it.
hippo.
We've got shots of a hippo just then.
Came out a couple of minutes ago.
So that's the end.
Yeah,
That is
job
the
done.
end.
Well, on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end. We hope you enjoy looking at the photographs we've taken.
They won't.
Well, some of them are quite good.
Well, one or two of them are good.
No.
Well, whatever. We'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
welcome. Now, coming up in today's show, James wears glasses. I pretend to be a dog. And a terrorist eats a savoury snack. Got everything there.
Try to.
Thank you. Now, throughout the developing world, people have, for many years, used Japanese-made pickup trucks.
Yes, but now European car makers have decided they want a piece of the action, so they've come up with pickup trucks of their own.
Yes, they have. And to find out if they're any good, this week we take the Grand Tour on a journey through history.
We begin in the Middle Ages, which meant going to Richard Hammond's garden. In parts of the globe where there's no mains water or electricity, a pickup truck has to be more than just transport for plague victims and livestock. That's why James has turned his Mercedes X-Class into a power station, using its rear axle to make electricity for the village. Richard, meanwhile, was using his Ford Ranger as a tractor, pulling a plough. And I was using this Volkswagen Amarok as an irrigation system. I'm using it to drive a pump which will deliver nourishment from the well to the community allotment. In fact, yeah, I can hear the water coming now above the smooth turbocharged throb of my V6 diesel.
Clarkson! Turn the car off! What was that? Oh, dear.
And there, and there, and I've done my neck in.
This is supposed to be a demonstration of the utility of pickup trucks.
We've done it, we've proved all three of them.
Yeah, no, I have. I've sawn 3 pieces of wood for a fence. Hammond's ploughed 4 furrows for growing things in. You have only subtracted from this community. I think you've slightly missed the point.
Why do you always have to overdo everything? I mean,
You can shut up,
why?
because it's supposed to be a test of European pickup trucks.
It's European.
Well, yes, apart from the fact that it was designed in Australia and it's built in South Africa.
What about the engine?
That's made in Turkey.
That's European.
Well, a bit of it is.
Well, look, let's not get bogged down with where Turkey is. What we've done is prove that all 3 of them work well when there is peace in the village in the developing world. What we must do now is find out how well they work when the peace comes to an end and there's a revolution.
When the revolution is over, it's important that all traces of the vile, hated dictator are eradicated. And that's why I'm attaching my Mercedes to this giant statue of Kim Yong Clarkson to see if I can pull it over. Right, here are the rules. I have to do this using the lowest revs possible. So what I'm going to do is put it in 4-wheel drive low range, something Jeremy Clarkson can't do, 1st gear manual, and turn the traction control off. Here we go. Traction control, diff lock, down you come. 3, 2, 1, away. Traction control, diff lock, down you come. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah! Traction control, diff lock, down you come. 3, 2, 1, go! Traction control, diff lock, down you come. 3, 2, 1, away! Yeah! He's gone!
That was just right on your dunk.
What a feeling!
Oh, I bet that was just...
That is in the face.
Yes.
By the whole earth.
Yes.
In the face. Do you see what happened to your nose? Look at it.
Yes. And now, it's your turn because...
Yeah, matesy tongue.
Right, it's time for your reign of terror to end.
3, 2, 1. Go, go, go.
Oh no! All right.
He's dragging you, he's taking you for a scrape.
That's not on, really.
Nice one, Hammond. The scores so far, then, looked like this. James had used 2,100 RPM to topple me, whereas Hammond, despite his bigger engine, had to use 3,600 RPM to bring down May. And now it's time for me to win as I get rid of the last of the country's hated dictators, Dick Pott. And there we are.
Oh, now come on.
Well, you shouldn't have built a life-size one. You are a man of modest stature.
Yeah, fine. It reflects my ego compared to yours.
Well, it's, you know, proportional to the size of the tyranny.
I don't think I'm going to need low range.
You haven't got it.
Well, I know exactly. I don't need it. Lock the rear diff. There you go.
You'll need that.
Right, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
Taking up the slack.
There might be a really bad jolt, so be careful.
3, 2, 1, go. I've won another test. I've won both of them.
How have you worked that out?
Well, 600 RPM, okay? And I did the best in the village.
You destroyed the village.
Listen, let's not get bogged down with that. We must now move on to what typically happens in a country after the dictator is gone. With the government in disarray, we had to load all our worldly goods into our pickup trucks and prepare to run for our lives. Everybody else in the world has an iPod.
I don't think
What's you got a gramophone for?
It was my grandmother's. We're fleeing from rebel forces. You don't stand here doing a commentary. Get in your truck.
I'm ready to flee.
Right, perfectly straightforward. Whichever one is the fastest from here to the flags there, yes?
Yes.
Best at fleeing.
Yes, they're called... Yes, exactly right.
So it's a drag race?
It's a flea race.
It's a fleeing race.
Let's flee then.
Come on, let's go.
If you need to flee from government forces, you need an Amarok. 0 to 60, 8 seconds. That's hot hatchback territory. It's the fastest of the trio, the most powerful of the trio, and the lightest of the trio. Probably not now, but it was. 3, 2, 1. You will be savagely beaten. Go. Trio and the lightest of the trio. Probably not now, but it was. 3,
2, 1, go. Right, onto the straight. Now we go on to the really...
My Lego!
Bicycle?
This is our new life, chaps.
This is...
Lego, cream, and a shit record.
Well, you say that.
I'm going to start
Oh
again.
no, we've got a chair.
You say that.
Oh, we're going to be all right.
I literally think we're okay.
Yes.
So let's just get this crystal clear. Okay, we haven't escaped with much. But the Volkswagen has now won all 3 tests.
Who decided that?
Me.
Yeah, but this isn't a dictatorship anymore.
We topple the dictator.
Yeah, it's a democracy.
It was the fastest by a mile.
Yeah, it is.
It was easily the best at pulling over statues and the best at water irrigation.
No. And you may have got there first, guaranteeing your survival, but you have no life. You have half a table and a mattress and the worst album in history.
really have
I
nothing
have got
left.
the
You call
contents
this
of
the
a home.
worst album?
The merits of the Yes album aside, the fact remained that with the country now in chaos, help is urgently needed. So, how would our commandeered trucks cope with their requirements?
Quite well, actually. I think we got away with that. No one from Oxfam here. And now, if I may, I'd like to talk about the Jaguar XE, not your hair. It is a really very nice little car, if I'm honest. It's very good looking. It's not particularly expensive. It rides beautifully, very beautifully, in fact. And as a result of all that, people ignore it and buy a BMW instead. So, Jaguar went to its skunk works, which is based in a shed, and they said, could you make a fast version, one that will get everybody talking?
The standard low-cost procedure for turning a normal saloon into a sports saloon is to give it some fat tyres, a nice V6 engine, and maybe some bucket seats. But the boffins and Jack decided to go a bit further than that. Welcome everyone to what's called the Project 8.
Hurry up! Here we go!
And ceramic wheel bearings, like you get on a race car.
Go. No! Why is my foot pinned to the floor? That'll do. Oh, my God. That'll do. Drive fast. Can I go a bit faster? For God's sake. Oh, God. It's incredible. Get a bloody move on. End up speeding. Oh, look at that for a tidy line. Drive fast. Oh, dearie me. Whoops. Oh, God.
On top of all that, the 8-speed gearbox also needed beefing up. And so did the four-wheel drive system. And then they had to get rid of the spare wheel and the well in which it sits to fit some underfloor aerodynamics. And then when they added up the cost of all the work they'd done, there was a problem. In order to make any money at all, the Project 8 would have to cost £150,000. That's 4 times more than the standard car. 4! So, here's the question. How mad would you have to be to spend £150,000 on a car that was designed and built in a glorified shed in the Midlands in about 18 months? And the simple answer is not mad at all, because this car is fan-bleeding-tastic. It's a bloody move on. Melons and Blighty. If you go beyond the limit. Go.
me. Savage acceleration. That'll do. Oh, God. No. Violent and bitey. If you go beyond the limit. Good. It is quite scary through here. Flat down, yeah? Oh, cool. Very, very quickly here. It's incredible. The answer is to stay within the limits, and in this car, that's no hardship. At normal road speeds, with the car in comfort or even dynamic mode, it's as quiet and as civilized as a Jag should be. It even has little springs sitting on top of the bigger springs to give you a more comfortable ride. But everything's relative, really. I mean, it's not as comfortable, say, as lying in a hammock on a summer's day listening to wood pigeons. But it does have air conditioning and a head-up display and electric seats, so it is more comfortable than you'd expect. In fact, it's better than you'd expect in every way. And maybe we shouldn't be surprised by that, because the last time something was designed and built quickly in a glorified shed in the Midlands, it was called the Spitfire. And it won the Battle of Britain. Q James May. Ready?
Hang on. The Spitfire?
Yes.
It was the Hurricane that won the Battle of Britain.
Well, it just wasn't.
No, it just was. There were far more of them. It was easier to build. It was easier to repair. It was easier to fly. It was.
But that's like saying that a Nissan Juke is better than a Lamborghini Aventador because it's easier to build and there are more of them.
No, it's not like that at all.
It is.
The Hurricane was a much more stable gun platform in the hands of a novice. The Hurricane accounted for more enemy aircraft than all of our other air defences combined.
Yes.
It won.
But the Spitfire, OK, the Spitfire looked glamorous. So you'd look up from the sky and then that improved morale on the ground because people are going, oh, wow, look at that. We can't possibly lose
Yes,
this.
but morale didn't shoot down enemy aircraft. Hurricanes did.
Yes, I know, but if you've got a small boy looking out the window, wow, look, there's a Spitfire up there and I'm going to join the RAF. And that's what we need. You want to fly a Hurricane because it looked like a sad basset hound.
No, it didn't look like a sad basset. And anyway, the best fighter aircraft of World War II was the Messerschmitt 109. Everybody knows
Well, that didn't win the Battle of Britain, did it?
Well, to be honest, nobody won the Battle of Britain. It was a draw.
What? Where have you got that from?
It was a draw.
Chaps! Hate to make this whole thing sound like, I don't know, a car show, but can we get it back to the Jag a bit? Please?
Yes, because I don't want to talk to him anymore about aeroplanes.
Okay, remember the Jag.
Yes.
Is it a mainstream car?
No, if I'm honest, it isn't. They've only made 300 of them, and they're all left-hand drive.
What, so they went to all that time and trouble to develop
And expense, yeah.
and now they're only building a handful and they put the steering wheel on the wrong side.
No, it is very odd, but since I don't want to listen to him talking about Hurricanes anymore, I do think we should find out how fast it goes round the Ebola drone.
Good start.